I guess now it's time to welcome you to what is this tournament? Winter Oceania Grand Slam tournament. This is our resident five-digit tournament that is going on right now. And this match that you're going to see here is going to be OtecYarika versus Warp. And seat 5 versus seat 60 is gonna be a little bit intimidating for the seat number 60, but as the kids say, fuck it, we ball. I am Fetch Ash. I'll be commentating with Pigman 2. How are you?
Hi, hello, yeah, hello, Ajunya, this is my first time, commentating a bit, so, take my commentary with a grain of salt, while I, come back for a bit, but, yeah, I'm doing well, we're back to, see another match of the Winter Oceania Grand Slam Tournament of 2025, and starting off we're going to be seeing, well, as you know, a bit of an uphill battle, so as said, it's going to be a bit intimidating for Warp here, as we can see here, but I do believe that they're going to do really well, so I believe this match is going to go really well and stuff for a 1v1, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rana 64 is gonna be like a first time experience for a lot of players. So it all comes down to players kind of discovering the format of tournaments themselves. Uh, so I think that's gonna be the case for Wolf actually. I don't know if OtecYarika has played a lot of tournaments before, but I saw them around at least.
Yeah, same. I believe that for OtecYarika, I think that's how you pronounce their name. I don't know. I'm not
I
really
don't know.
Russian, but
I'm just balling it to be honest. I'm especially familiar with I think with Polish or Czech, and the C there is like either sh or ch. I don't know how it goes for Russian, but I'm assuming it's something like that.
damn, I really feel like I'm just a fake Slavic because for not really know much about Russian people despite being biologically Polish. But I believe that's OtecYarika here has been in some tournaments before from what I've seen. I believe I've seen them in Two-Shot Cup from last year or something like that. I believe that they got really far in the tournament or something like that, but that's it really. I haven't really paid so much attention to that one, so yeah. All I know is that they seem to be a bit of a rice connoisseur, as we can see here, seeing that they're getting through this sort of straightforward jump stream pattern with a few bursts and jump streams here and there. So yeah, only by about 5,000 points ahead of Warp, as we can see here. There's also a rice connoisseur in their own field and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually remember like the ring restrictions from Two Shot Cup. I don't actually remember like the gimmick of Two Shot Cup itself.
Oh, the gimmick for that one was there's two qualifiers or something like that. So and there's a second qualifier stage after quarterfinals or something, where eliminated players could just come back. So it was two brackets essentially. So yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't like follow that tournament. Maybe I was too busy back then.
Same. It was when I was taking a break from tournaments for a bit. Yeah. I think it went well from the sounds of it, at least, considering that some people have seemed to like it. So yeah, really well done on their part.
Yeah, I think like pushing the envelope for new things and new tournaments is like pretty encouraged. Especially like last year, I think there was a lot of experimentation in terms of tournament format and also tournament staff. Also, some new people taking up the helm, and I think Winter Oceania Grand Slam tournament is going to be kind of like the opposite. I mean, it's hosted by a bunch of veterans, and I think like a lot of staff kind of goes back many years in the tournament scene. So it's kind of like the opposite, really, of experimentation. It's gonna be bringing a lot more nostalgia, and the format of this tournament is like very much very classic. And speaking of classic, we're gonna be having the classic roles: 88 versus 6. Gonna be
Ooh.
a grand slam right from the get go.
Wow. Mate, that was a literal disrespectful slam dunk of a Rolls game if I've seen one.
Yeah, like get ratioed, literally.
Oh my day. That's literally what it is. But yeah, with the rolls out the way, we're gonna be seeing OtecYarika taking their rolls. Wait.
Yeah, so the winner of the role is gonna be protecting first. I learned that by refing a match for the first time in a good while, just one hour ago. So the first protect is gonna be coming from OtecYarika. It's gonna be a Rice one, very typical of a Rice main. I wonder what Warp is gonna protect it.
I think personally, Warp might also like opt in for another Rice Protect as well. I mean, maybe it's a bit okay. They're gonna be protecting Rice Free, so that's gonna be Easy God Library by Biosphere. So this is like one of the mixed tech. This is like one of the mixed technical like picks of this map pool. And they're also going to be opting in for the LN1 ban, so that is the release pick. Rain drops by for now. So a relatively like sort of straightforward and simple like LN like pick at that. And considering that like both players from what I've seen are like maybe not as like well versed when it comes to LN, contrary to Rice picks, it sort of like makes sense a bit. Same with OtecYarika, like go opt in for the Hybrid 2 ban, so that's going to be Hachigatsu no Yoru by Ashchan Lovers and so on. I think that might have been the LN bias hybrid. I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's like slight LNs in that hybrid, slight FBs I mean in that hybrid as well. So might be one of the many reasons to ban this. It's also TV size, so it's like missing in that kind of pick kind of spells doom for you. So if you're afraid of missing, then that's a decent ban.
Absolutely, yeah. With the rolls and picks out the way, though, we're going to be starting off straight with the Rice 1 pick. So that's going to be Ukigomu by Ikigumo by
Ikigumo, yeah.
Alhermesia. This I believe this was from Soft 4 group stage or something like that. Like from like so long ago.
Yeah, it's like a throwback. Like this entire, I think a lot of this map pool is like very much throwbacks upon throwbacks.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think like when it comes to like this sort of tournament in general, it's like sort of like built off of like throwbacks in general. So there's gonna be a lot of like familiar sort of picks like here and there. It's like just like it's basically like sort of metaphor. It's as if you're like metaphorically like just walking through like some flower field and then it just feels like very familiar in some way.
Yeah,
like, either in a good way or a bad way, or I don't know if it.
Yeah, honestly, if I were to describe this tournament, like this tournament is a Japanese temple in the middle of the Japanese countryside. So Okigima is like a very good first pick to kind of describe that kind of vibe. Like speaking of which, this was OtecYarika's protect, and they're picking it right from the get-go, just asserting their dominance.
Yeah, as it seems so. So getting through that first jump stream section, OtecYarika just breezing through that in terms of accuracy, holds at 99.95% accuracy. You are just doing it not like on the same sort of accuracy league as OtecYarika here, but there is like a pretty small like score difference between the two. It's just about 5,000 points or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like 1 or 2 combo breaks away, really.
I think all that needs to happen is that like Warp has to like just hang on to the consistency here as we make it through the halfway point of the halfway mark of the map, getting through like the jump stream section. This is like a bit of a calmer section, so
Yeah, like all you can do against like um, accuracy monsters, especially in Rana 64, is just keep your full combo. Just wait for something to happen on the other side. You can't really do anything else than just play your best, play the best you can.
Indeed. I think when it comes to like tackling like accuracy monsters especially, you just gotta like focus on like keeping a combo at least and like just maybe pray for like a miss to happen. It's like as long as you like FC or something, then it sort of like gives you some room to like potentially snag a point. And it's actually like really common in like a lot of tournaments between like various players as well, especially for newcomers. So yeah. However, with the map closing out, unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing OtecYarika taking the drop. So that's going to be the first point going to OtecYarika, taking the first point with a ratio of 43 perfects on the jump stream pick. Wow.
Yeah, so 43 regular 300s is a very good score for kind of typical for a seed 5. Like the top seeds are all like really good at accuracy, and on a random 64 straightforward pick, I think like that's par for the course. And
Indeed it is.
protects upon protects are being picked right now. Warp also opting for the protect rise number 3. And I don't think we're gonna see many LNs in this match at all.
Mm. I mean, maybe if like I mean, maybe in the potential scenario that like both players like just sort of like exhaust the rice picks because there's only like really 5. So maybe if Warp like gets a few points here and there from OtecYarika, then we could probably see them both like duke it out on some of the LN and hypers as well. But I'd say that like it's gonna be like pretty dangerous going on both of them as well because they're still like sort of how do I say this they're not as like as experienced with LN, so it would be a bit of a more like sort of rash like sort of field for them to tackle on really.
Yeah, like the dynamic between Rice 1 and Rice 3 is like pretty different despite the two of them being Rice oriented. Like Rice 3 is gonna be much more sniper slash burst oriented, and it's going to be much more of a reading challenge and just execution overall. And that's why it seems Warp is leading the way right now, despite being seed 60 against the seed number 5.
Hmm. This is actually really interesting considering that like Warp is it has a very slight advantage. It's going down by a bit considering that there's only like a mere few hundreds of point difference. Oh but but OtecYarika gonna be snagging that point lead again. Oh wait.
Yeah, that's like
Oh.
from inaccuracy drop coming coin from Warp, dropping from 99.83 to 99.74, and then dropping again to 99.69. Probably dropping some straight 200s in there. Yeah.
I think
So
this might actually have been a really good pick from Warp side because like both players are like sort of like maybe a bit all over the place when it comes to like this sort of map, considering that it has a bunch of like abrasive rhythms and whatnot. There's like still less than a quarter of the map left, so I don't know like how much time there is really for Warp to like bring things back to their ground, but you just have to wait and see really, see if anything's gonna be happening here. But I think this is like a really calm section, so I don't think there's really enough time now.
yeah,
Sadly.
it's like really unfortunate because Warp score is like really good. Like anything above 990k, especially for a seed number 60, is like miles beyond good. Like 990k, you don't see many 990ks being executed by seed number 60s. Like low seeds coming up with 990ks, like that's like unheard of.
Yeah. And with that out of the way, OtecYarika going to opt in for the immediate Rice 2 pick, so that's going to be none other than Neanderwall mapped by Percy Claus.
Yeah, it's another throwback. Yeah, I didn't even know this map before Logan came up with its including, and that map goes back as well. And well, the mapper themselves go back like many years before.
Can I just mention something actually? So like being in college, like doing music and all that, since this like semester, a bunch of us have been like joking about Wonderwall as a song and just like making fun of it recently. So now I just can't like take the song like seriously anymore. So like seeing it in a literal map pool like this is just it feels very funny, especially on top of the fact that it's just a meme mashup as well. Like
Yeah, like Wonderwall being part of the meme mashup is itself a meme. Like Wonderwall, you cannot just want to put Wonderwall everywhere because well, that's the only thing that people can play apparently.
I mean, well, pretty much, yeah. I don't know of any other like Oasis song that exists out there outside of Wonderwall and I don't know. What was the other one? I remember like Live Forever. I remember like some people from my college performed it for a gig like on my first gig last year, like October 2023 something. I don't know, I forgot. But yeah.
Interesting song choice.
I'm gonna throw it back to you. Find out what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
It is a karaoke simulation right now, and Warp is trying to sustain the full combo. It is a pretty short map, all things considered, but I think Warp is standing their ground really well, but not quite matching the accuracy and consistency from OtecYarika, unfortunately.
Yeah, this pick being like maybe the more speed-oriented pick, it's like a bit like sort of abrasive in its own right, considering that the like sort of speed of the patterns itself like sort of fluctuate a lot. So it can really like catch you off guard if you aren't as like careful here. As we can see, like OtecYarika has like a very stable control of like the patterns here, especially considering that it's really like sort of like straightforward. Warp also like getting through them like really well, like comboing them and all that. So that's like already like really good. There isn't really much left of the map part. So like I think the most to hope for now is for OtecYarika to potentially like make a massive like meltdown like towards this end here, but there really isn't like so much time left to spare, so I don't know. So I don't think it's like very likely now, unfortunately.
Yeah, like coming from the proficiency of Warp, even on, I think that's one of the more challenging picks of Rana 64 in terms of physicality. I think um, whoever ends up in the losers bracket is just gonna be doing damage actually. Like even coming from a potential seed 60 in the losers bracket, like this is very scary to see in terms of physical proficiency.
Absolutely. Like, I think in this day of age of like the tournament scene in general, you just see like a lot of like players out here that are newcomers, but a lot of them can just be like insane, like to go up against. And like, I think in this tournament especially, there's like a lot of like sort of players that sort of like just give the impression that like seeding doesn't really like sort of matter as a concept anymore. Like, it's sort of like good as a baseline, but these days it's just the line is just very like sort of blurred, and you see it in like all kinds of tournaments as well, especially with the amount of upsets that happen from time to time. So yeah.
There we go. Right one, right three, right two, right four. Yeah, we've got the top covered.
Yeah, going for the one of the other like sort of technical pips. This is like a more like core jack oriented like map at like 91 BPM approximately, but it has like a few like polyrhythms and like flams here and there. So both players gotta watch out for that, especially. It's gonna be none other than Omni by Electon. So
Yeah, it's a
hopefully,
bit
yo,
of a
yeah.
jack technical sort of pick, so it's going to be interesting to see the accuracy dynamic because Warp seems to have cemented their specialty in handling graces and bursts here and there. So this one also features bursts, so might be preying on it to upset OtecYarika on at least one pick.
Hopefully, yeah. Considering that OtecYarika here is already on match point, there isn't really like much of options that Warp has other than like to like just try their best to like win on this pick alone. Otherwise, that's gonna spell them just hopping down onto the losers brackets to face whoever like ends up there as well. So far, OtecYarika in with a very like sort of high lead in terms of accuracy, only by just further ahead by about 2,000 points. Warp not too far behind, holding on through like some of these like sort of like very consistent like patterns and whatnot. So it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle if Warp can't maintain the same accuracy as OtecYarika. One of them's probably going to like sort of like mess up on these short elements, maybe not.
Yeah, Warp did drop a tiny bit of accuracy, going from 99.7 to 99.65, I believe. So everyone just handling those anchors pretty well, not mind blocking.
Indeed. That long anchor section, like, out the way, we go back into yet another course filled with, like, anchors and other core jack patterns, so...
Yeah, I think Warp actually dropped the 200 on the LN release. That is actually kind of interesting to notice. So that might be why Warp is not necessarily opting for LN picks.
Yeah, but like judging by the qualifier results, I think it would have been the same sort of like case for OtecYarika as well, considering that they also had banned Hybrid 2 earlier. Considering that there was like some like LN like Orient parents in it as well. So I think in general like both these players like aren't really as like versed when it comes to LN Orient stuff like in general. So I think like they're the sort of people to like just rely more on like Rice picks than LN. Much like a bunch of other players out there, especially.
So yeah, like if you want to beat the seed number 5, you gotta have some weapons on your side. Like those weapons do include long notes and hybrids, and potentially the slight SVs that might appear in the hybrid 2s or hybrid 3s. But yeah, that wasn't the case today, and we only played Rise essentially.
Yeah.
And with
But with that
GG.
but with that out of the way, we're gonna be seeing OtecYarika moving on to the round of 32 bracket with a clean sweep to start things off right out the bat. So well done to both players. OtecYarika being very highly like dominant across all the Rice picks here. Some of them could have like gone in like so many directions, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be OtecYarika just busting a ticket into the round of 32, so yay!
Yeah, looking forward to see what how they can handle round 32. Like round 32 does go a little bit above in terms of difficulty. So the difficulty, especially like the Rise difficulty, is gonna ramp up bit by bit, and it's just gonna come down to how well all of the players are gonna be handling the scaling. And I think the Rise scaling is also gonna be benefiting Warp in the losers bracket. If they are more physical than their opponent, then that's definitely a weapon they can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, without further ado, we will be closing this stream for now, but at 15 UTC, we're gonna have a triple matches going on, hopefully without too many forfeits or no-shows. I'm definitely cursing that. Yeah, 3 matches going on at 15 UTC. We are going to stream match number 11, that is going to be Nugget Witch versus Stroto.
Yep. So with that being the next match, I guess there isn't really much else to say other than keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully we'll see you come in and watch that one, maybe hop in for a bit or something like that. Hopefully the match will go well, you know? Like, especially all the other matches as well, so yeah.
yeah, we'll be taking a short break and we'll come back with some more matches. Cheers.
We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.